Hello and welcome to TSW Gaming. Today's video is all about how to get the best use out of your Youth Academy in career mode. Now let's get started with actually setting up a career. Now, career modes are a brilliant way to play on your own, and Youth Academies are an amazing way to try and get the best out of your team. Let's get started, let's go. Now I'm going to choose a random team today, and we're going to see what happens. Now I obviously don't know what was going to happen, but we'll do a random team. So I'm going to just shoot across and we're going to see what's happened. Now, if you haven't used career modes before and you haven't used any type of Youth Academy before, it's a brilliant way to get players into your team without actually spending that much money. So a random team, here we go. Yeah, that's all fine. Yeah, that's all fine. So, Youth Academies have the ability for you to look for players each month, young players, and you can put them into your Youth Academy to try and build up a team. Now, I'm going to try and make a Youth Academy without actually spending any money on transfers, just by getting in young players. So this is going to be a multiple part video. The first part is going to be how to set up Youth Academy. The second part is going to be after about 6 months in the January transfer window, what have I got Youth Academy wise, stuff like that. Now, first things first, you need to look at your squad. Okay, this is going to determine what type of players you're looking for. So as I can see here, I've got a choice of goalkeepers. None of them are brilliant. I mean, he's my best one and he's getting towards the end of his career. Goalkeeper could be a good shout to look for. Okay, got two left backs. One is currently out on loan. One is actually quite good rated and young. Okay, centre backs. Only got 3 centre backs. That's a bit poor, isn't it? I could try and bring this one back on loan. Right backs, again, he's not bad. Centre mids. Okay, we've got a few. However, again, nothing special, and a few towards the end of the career. The centre attacking mid as well. Wingers. And one striker, but I do have some on loan, so I could always pull some back. Now, looking at this, I actually could do with a mixture of pretty much every position. Okay, now I will tell you in the next bit why. Now, you need to look at your team first, but I need a mixture of positions. So I'm going to shoot across now to my Youth Academy. Now, the brilliant thing about FIFA 2022 is you already get one Youth Academy Scout, and this guy is mine, and he isn't too bad rating. Now, what we're going to look for now is to purchase another Scout as well. Now, compared to last year's FIFAs, these are really good. I'm in the top right corner. It tells you actually your transfer budget, so you can look at actually how much you do want to spend on a Scout and how much your budget is going to come up. Now, for me, I'm not looking to do any transfers, so I'm going to try and get the best Scout I can with the money I've got, and that will be this guy from the Netherlands. Now, stars are important. As it says at the top, experience. So the more experience your Scout is, it will bring in a larger amount of players. Okay, so if you go for this guy at the bottom, he might only bring you a couple of players each month, whereas this guy I'm going to try and get is going to be quite a few players, could be 6, 7 players a month. Judgment as well. We go to the bottom guy, it's only got 1 star. He's not going to find you any decent players, unfortunately. You might get lucky, you might get one, but the guy I'm going to try and go for, top stars, equals that he's going to try and find the best quality players. So I'm going to get hold of him. Now, I would recommend getting multiple scouts, mainly because you can set your scouts to look for certain people. Now, obviously, I must warn you, you can't send multiple scouts to the same country. You must send 1 scout per country. Now, set up your scouting network, choose any country you like. Now, years ago, there was a rumour that if you send them to the country they're from, okay, they will find you better players, but it doesn't really happen anymore. Send them anywhere you want. Now, I would say look for countries, any country you want, and then you're going to set your duration. So I'm going to go Central Europe. Where should I go? Let's go to Netherlands anyway. Now your duration, how long they're going to scout players for. Now you get one scout report every month. So that means over 3 months, I will get 3 chances to sign players. I'm going to go for 6 months. Type. You can go 3, 6, or 9. So I'm going to go 6. Type. Now this is where it gets a bit interesting. Okay, so technically gifted. These are going to try and find you players that usually would be very good at skills, quite agile, quite nimble. Your wingers, okay, will try and naturally be a little bit quicker, maybe a little bit creative as well. Physically strong, says it as it is. They're going to probably have decent stamina, decent strength. They're probably going to be a little bit better at tackling than some players. Playmaker, okay, these are going to be players who probably looking at your centre midfielders, your cam sort of role, who are quite good at passing and setting up things. Goalkeeper, fairly straightforward. It's your goalkeepers. Attackers. These are going to be trying people who are probably not bad at scoring, maybe creating chances. Defensive minded. Now, these are going to be slightly more towards the back of the field. Usually your wing backs, your right backs, left backs, centre backs, CDMs, stuff like that. Now, I have to say, they're not actually as good as you think. Goalkeeper's probably the best one, as you're going to probably get goalkeepers. But defensive-minded ones, I've had wingers before, I've had centre attacking midfielders before. You go to your attackers, I've had CDMs before. It is literally a bit of a mixed bag. I have to say, it's not as good as it is. Now, if you're actually trying to look for a set player, brilliant. But as I need pretty much everyone, I'm going to search for any player. Yes, so the right sets up. Okay, as I've got 2 scouts, I will do the same. I will find a country for this guy. Let's go to Germany. 6 months, and I'm going to go for any again. I need quite a few players. So that is my scouting network setup. Good thing to look at as well as your targets, my youth development targets. So I need to sign at least 2 players younger than 20. That's what my youth academy is going to do for me. All players come in, minimum age 15, usually go up to about 16, 17, not much older. So I will tick that box quite quickly. Okay, sign a youth player to a defender position while searching for any position. So I should be able to get that as well. And long-term plan with me is to sign 1 youth player and within 2 seasons get them playing in 5 matches. Well, as I was looking at my team before, I haven't got a very highly rated team, and youth academies, you get players rating quite well. So I'm going to now look at the next best thing on FIFA 22 in the fact that you actually get players into your youth academy already as you start. Now I've got 4 players here. At the bottom is my best rated, a striker. Okay, now he's pretty good rated. As you can see here, you've got to look out for the numbers. So the age, well, let's start with the left. The position. So these are the position that they choose. Now you can change your position quite easily on them. So I'll go over that in a minute. So I've got 2 centre mids, centre attacker mid, and a striker. You've then got the name, how old they are, their overall at this moment. So if I put them in my senior team, they have to be at least 16. If I put my senior team, this is what their overall rating is, and potential. Now these are important numbers to look at. The top person here, Para, unfortunately, he can only really get to a potential of 68, what isn't that high. Compared to the bottom, up to 94, that is brilliant. Plan, now this is where you can set up your development for your player. So whether you want to change position or whether you want to change what type of growth you want to do with them. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm looking at this player here. He's not bad at acceleration, at sprint speed, but there's nothing really useful here. If I'm going to be honest with you, his potential is rubbish, so you can easily relieve player and it gets rid of them. Okay, it doesn't cost you any money to get rid of them, what is brilliant. Next player on my list, okay. Not bad. His potential isn't too bad. Now I'm looking at this here and he's not very good, but he is 6 foot. Okay, he's not too bad with sprint speed, stuff like that. But again, his potential isn't the best. I would say I will get rid of him as well. Ideally, guys, you want your numbers of your potential to be in the 90s, okay? This is the potential. So if I put him in my team now and I played him every game and he was happy and he was getting really good scores, his potential will stay. However, if I put in my team and I don't really play with him, he's sort of in the reserves, he's not training, his potential will go down. Now, I would say if you're planning on playing them straight away, get them in, even if they're slightly worse than what your current position is. If you can get a 16-year-old who's a couple of ratings less than what you've got at the minute, he will naturally go up really quickly. Okay. If you're not sure what to do with them, you can always set them up for loan and hopefully the players will bring him for you. Now, looking at him here, he is really good. Look at that. He's got amazing stats already. I've been really lucky, actually. The only thing that's letting him down finishing-wise is his actual finishing. 49, that is quite poor. Now, I would say he is pretty good at a lot of things. Now, I'm going to try and develop him into being a better striker. This is what's important. Now, balance, it will do all of the stats you want on there, okay? Target man, as a striker, will improve his finishing, his short passing, ball control, reactions, balance, heading, jumping, and strength. So these are going to be good. Poacher, sprint speed, and he does all of pretty much his shooting stats as well as his agility reactions. So that is a good one to go for. Mobile striker, all of his pace, doesn't do his finishing, but does do a few other stats in his shooting, a little bit of passing, and a little bit of ball control. And finally, the complete striker, this will focus on his shooting abilities, so his finishing, attack position, shot power, free kick, short pass, curve, composure, ball control. Now, I am going to go with the target man one. Okay, because as he's 6 foot tall, I think his heading would be useful to improve as well. Oh, forgot to mention, okay, development. It also tells you at the top how long that's going to take him 8 weeks to do that. I'm going to put him straight into my first team. So what you do is you press promote to senior team and he goes straight in there, no questions asked. Now, last person to look at isn't too bad. Okay, he is 16 though, his potential's not very good. So I'm going to release him. So this is now my youth academy cleared. Right. What's going to happen now is this is part one of my video. And I'm going to now go and play half of the season. Now it's going to be a mixture of playing games, it's going to be a mixture of quick sims and sims. I'm going to try and bring players into my youth academy. I will prove to you in the transfer window that I will not buy anyone by looking at the transfer history of my club. And I'll show you players I've brought in. Please like, subscribe and comment, okay? Any comments would be greatly welcome, even videos you would like me to show you other areas of. But thank you for watching TSW Gaming.